Greetings, community, and welcome to Entropy in Comics. I'm your host, Kevin, and this is Kevin's most anticipated reads tomorrow for New Comic Book Day, 8 5 2026. And it's great to be here, and I appreciate each and every single one of you that cruises on through. I truly do. And for those of you that cruise in and on the live, let's take a moment and say hi. Hey, how you doing, Las Cruces? And Jag, you too. How you do? I appreciate you guys. Hope you guys are doing well. All right, how about we start it off with Marvel Studios? Marvel's going to first start off with Amazing Spider Man, issue number 34. I think I'm really anticipating this because really what we're on is a countdown to issue 1000. I've been saying this for a while. We're at issue 998. Yeah, issue 34, but issue 36 is when we hit issue 1000. We're ramping up to it. Kelly's doing a wonderful job on the writing. And I mean, and especially in comparison to the last two volumes, this has actually been rather interesting. There's been twists and turns. There's stuff rather a little unexpected when it comes to the relation of his family members again, and where that really fits with him. I mean, he's grappling, meaning Peter, with past experiences and where that really puts him and how he feels about it. You know, like almost any life experience, when things are in the past and you hold it against someone or even yourself for what's going on, it really shouldn't change that much, really. I know it does, especially when it comes to storylines or when it hits personal, a little, to home. Really, what we're getting is a pretty decent story, and it does allow the reader to get a little more personally involved in the storyline outside of just the action. Amazing Spider-Man issue 34 coming out on 8/5/2026. It's definitely on my list of one of the most anticipated reads this week. Moving on from that, let's talk about Queen in Black, Venom Unchained. Issue number one. What we're getting is a carry-on from a rather almost incomplete story when we get to the Death Spiral stuff. Yes, we do have Brock dealing with the fact that, yes, also Carnage is no more, and to a large degree, but really, moreover, where he stands without the Venom symbiote, which we also know is going to soon. I mean, they already have a spoiler. We're probably only a little more than a month out from him regaining the suit, and probably more than likely some type of new look. This is actually the story that's kind of ramping up towards all that, which is the Queen in Black Venom Unchained, because it's going to be more of a storyline of Venom segueing into the Queen of Black storyline, which we're more likely going to get it two solid issues before he actually is going to be able to get someone involved, meaning Brock. And more likely, we're not even going to see Venom for a good two, maybe three issues, probably at the end. Like some big, like tease, yeah. We'll see if the cameo presents itself on the last issue, and then we see him, I'm curious. I really am. I've been waiting for this whole Queen in Black stuff. It's really kind of panning out the way I like. As far as the story is concerned, Noel's back. Happy about that. Brock's gonna get Venom back. Happy about that. And Dylan, well, he's also gonna take on a persona that we haven't seen in years, and I'm happy about that. Codex, come on back. I'm just saying. Let's move on from the Queen in Black, Venom Unchained, issue number one. And let's cruise over to Queen in Black, issue number two. I'm not doing every single one of the little, branches out from the main storyline. I'm just sticking mostly with the main storyline. I know where all this other stuff is kind of going, and I know what I really want to read. Queen in Black, I guess my only complaint is that I'm still catching up from issue number one. So for issue number two, it's cool because it's reading right through. It's difficult because if you did the blind bags and you're doing $8 a pop and you did more than two, it's an ouchie. But we're really talking about storylines, right? And I am looking forward to reading the storyline. Queen in Black has really developed itself into a really cool story that I've been looking forward to. Like I said, not only this cool characters that I've really appreciated in the past and it's represented them now, but we're getting new personifications of old characters in a new way that hell we haven't seen in a while. Ah, see what I did there? Hell. Ah, Queen in Black, issue number 2, coming out in 8/5, 2026. Let's cruise out from that and let's talk about the last book from Marvel, which is Marvel Token First Strike, issue number 1. This is the introduction, per se, to all the Marvel Token things that we're going to get. Most of all, what we're going to be receiving is Marvel Token covers. Kai's looking forward to the Marvel Token from X-Men issue number 35, which is the Magic Token First Strike cover. Oof, that's a mouthful. And yeah, I have a feeling that's probably going to be one of those popular ones that stated. Here we are, Marvel Token First Strike issue number 1. It's kind of the introduction main book that's going to be presenting all these future token covers and all that stuff. If you're remotely interested in this kind of anime looking, it does have a very game feel too. It's probably why Kai's into it. But it's a cross between this anime looking and game feeling kind of drawn Marvel new introduction of stuff what they're doing. I have no idea where this is going. I really don't. I'm curious. That's why I can't wait to get my hands on it. Looking forward to it. Marvel Token First Strike issue number 1 coming out in 8/5, 2026. Let's move on from that and talk about an Oni Press book. Oni's gonna give us first Dead Teenagers issue number 5. This has been a really interesting Groundhog's Day book. I like how it presents itself inside of a prom sliding throwback, good. Well, it's been jumping around. That's the cool thing. Where I left off, it just left where they were back. It was like the early 2000s, and there was like Amazon being birthed, and maybe it was early 2010, and they're just tripping out because the original storyline, I believe, starts in the late 80s, like 87. I like how they're hopping around. They've been going through this Groundhog's Day of death hitting them in many manifestations in different forms that they cannot even imagine. And that's the problem with it is they can never anticipate how it's going to death present itself and how to change it if possible at all. They've been going through these things so many hundreds of times and now it counts into the over 1,000. When I last was reading, yeah, this is a very interesting book. I like Groundhog's Day type books, and when it becomes something that is this horrific and this fun and this outlandish, hey, how can you not anticipate the read? Dead Teenagers, issue number 5 from Oni Press. Let's move on from that. Let's talk about Murder Joe's issue number 6. Man, I was talking about this book for like a year now, and here we are. I believe issue 6 is the last issue. I really truly enjoy this series as a book considerably more than I did as a series. In the show, I am going to have to give the show another chance, being that I now have a better feel for what I'm anticipating, not only from the show, but I have a complete understanding of the storyline. The comic pretty much is a scene by scene, blow by blow, and there is so much more that I was missing in the show because it explains it in the book. Little nuances that I really were too subtle for me to catch, the blushing and things like that. It happens too fast, especially in these hyper, like color and realism type, digital formats, that it was just too much for me to catch at the time. Seeing it as a comic, yeah, I can appreciate the storyline and where it was coming from. And now that I understand what the actual series is going to throw at me, I'm going to give the series a shot once again. Now that I'm looking forward to completing the series as a comic. Murder Jones, issue number 6, highly recommended. I've been talking about it for months, and here we are coming to its end. Hey, Callie, how you do? Hope all is well with you. I appreciate you coming on through. Let's move out from Oni Press and cruise over to IDW. IDW is going to give us Event Horizon Inferno issue number 4. I've been loving this series, and the beauty about this book, in particular, as far as this volume is concerned, is we're getting a continuation after the series had ended, as far as the story was concerned, on the actual movie. What I mean by that is, what the hell happened at the end of the movie? What was going on? What was the overall agenda of, well, let's call it the darker side of the light. So what was this demon's overall goal? Its objective. What was it doing? Is it heading towards Earth? Is it, I mean, is it just Earth? Is it our galaxy? Is it what? Yeah, this explains a lot, and it's deep. It's dark. It's sinister. It's awesome. It's everything I love and everything I was kind of hoping for as a continuation. I really do. They hope, from the rumors that I've been hearing, that they do a Event Horizon movie as far as a part two. And if it's even remotely based on what I've been reading on this book, we're in for one hell of a ride. Event Horizon Inferno, issue number 4, coming out on 8/5, 2026. Let's move out from that and let's cruise over to the last publisher of this evening, Image Studios. All right, Image Studios is going to first start off with White Sky at issue number 5. This series, it not only took a little bit everyone by storm, as far as not everyone was anticipating the popularity and the instant notoriety of what this team was able to do in a series that was rather unique, in my opinion. What happens when ghosts essentially take over and make a post apocalyptic world? That's pretty gnarly. It's a pretty interesting storyline based around a a father and daughter storyline trying to do their best to navigate their ways through this post apocalyptic hell with individuals that aren't heaven, which tend to be the worst demons in all, and these different type of ghosts that not only either consume or make you part, or yeah, I'm still trying to figure out all these different ways that they're able to tear you apart, and it's just nasty. I really, really have been enjoying the series, and the way it's drawn. Usually, I talk about how things draw you in, how immersive some things are. It seems like it's kind of the opposite in this regard. I am more of an audience participant in the sense that I'm holding the book and I am reading it. And I can stop and start whenever I want. But I know I'm very cognitive, not only that I'm reading it from the outside, but every time I start to initiate the reading and I start putting myself in the storyline, the art really gives me this cold feeling. It's dark. It it's it leaves the reader really feeling like not necessarily anything to pop out or pull you in as much as you see how deleted, how omitted things are from the world due to these ghosts that have just all consumed and eliminated the vitality. And it reflects in the art that you're reading as you're just looking at it. And it's pretty eerie, I guess. That's the way to put it. And that's one of the things that's really been getting is not only the struggle of the storyline between this father and this daughter and what they've been going through, but and the tenacity. But yeah, this all consuming nastiness and how it's just sucking out the vitality, and you can see it in the reflection of the artist. Pretty awesome. White Sky, issue number 5. Highly recommend it. If you're not already reading it, get that trade. Let's move on from that. Let's talk about Mask, issue number 3. Here we are, just growing that Energon universe. And with issue number 3, what we're getting is an introduction more of the expansion to this Energon universe with a antagonist, I believe, of the Micronauts. Bigger deal about all this is what I'm really saying is we're now introducing more information about the Micronauts in a mass series, which is going to further bridge more information, in my opinion, of more Void rival stuff, along with then, in hand in hand, Transformer stuff. I really like how all these things are starting to interconnect and the expansiveness of these interconnections and how we're going to slowly say, oh, and start pointing fingers at different series and different storylines and different, you know, um, aspects of these storylines. I'm having fun doing it. And if you are enjoying the Energon universe like I have, this is probably a must, in my opinion, to go ahead and pick up the Mask because what it is part of the catalyst that's solidifying the expansion to this universe. A lot of the primary three, you do have Void Rivals, Transformers, and G.I. Joe. But we're going to get these expansions again, like we got the other year of all those solo series. And I know it. We're going to get these Micronaut series. We're going to get all this other stuff that is going to further, like I said, bridge and just solidify other aspects to the storyline that we've yet to get. Mask issue number 3 coming out on 8/5/2026. But what we're here to talk about is this week's Blue Light Special. This week's Blue Light Special is Chachu, issue number 1, by Iman Vellani. This is her first writing solo work that is going to be released through the Tiny Onion Image um, Publishing Company. I know very little about the storyline, though it is a story about a 19-year-old girl that is coming, from my understanding, I think it's Canada, going to like an uncle's house, and not only trying to find her place there, but ends up finding and stumbling upon an adventure that she didn't really anticipate, all wrapped around in the entertainment industry, in a time and an era that is a little, far gone. I am very more curious about what Iman can do by herself than anything else. That's my overall curiosity. She's a nerd. She's a fan. She is one of us, and she has true passion for not only the industry but what she does, and I really see that, and I'm looking forward to see a lot of that in her reading, her passion, her love for the industry, for comics, for her work and contribution to the industry, and just for the love of what we all love in comics, not only to read but sometimes to write. I, along with my daughter, hopefully, if everything works out, will be seeing her tomorrow night at Revenge of Comics and Pinball at a special signing event. And yeah, I'm curious to talk to her about her solo works. I'm curious to read this thing, and I'm looking forward to just be whisked away on an interesting adventure written by an individual that I would imagine a lot of her is probably in this book. Curious to see. Hey, for those of you that stayed with me and hung out, hey, Callie, I appreciate you cruising on through. Jag, same with you. And Les Cruces, thank you. I appreciate you as always, brothers. Yeah, that's it for me. Entropy, thank you very much. And I didn't even put out, you know what? I'm sorry, people. I just realized I didn't even put, I was supposed to put. Oh my God, I'm messing up stuff here. Let's see if I can do this. I didn't put out an exit. I'm gonna try to do that. Let's see if I can. Thank you, people. Thanks. Bye.